Sun Ra was a musician and band leader, and he was involved in music that could probably be best described as being experimental music. Sometimes he's kind of lumped amongst free jazz. He was active between 1934 and 1993 when he died, and he released over 100 albums in that time. Um, his kind of pivotal moment in his life, he describes as being in around 1936 or 1937. He took a trip to Saturn, and I couldn't possibly comment on whether there were any substances involved. Apparently, this was a religious experience. He gained in the process a philosophy and a mission to pacify the world through experimental music. And to all intents and purposes, it seems like he was completely convinced by this conviction. Either that, or it was a very elaborate joke that he perpetuated over a long period of time. He assembled a band, which was often called the orchestra, but changed names at various points. And apparently, members of the band were also convinced by his philosophy. Um, so, I think a polite word to describe him would be eccentric. Hi, my name's Dan. So this album is called The Heliocentric Worlds of Sun Ra Volume 2. And it's one of twin volumes that were released at the same time. I bet you can't guess what the first one was called. And generally it seems to be described as free jazz. I would say that what it is a bit more complex than that. I feel like it veers between, or kind of sits, bridges between almost, if you like, free jazz and contemporary classical. So it feels more free jazz when the piano and the drums and the bass is being plucked. So piano and drums are playing, the bass is being plucked. Feels more contemporary classical when you haven't got the piano or the drums and the bass is being bowed, which makes it sound like a low cello. The players here are Sun Ra's band, who are called the Orchestra, which a lot of people kind of came and go through that. What else can I say? There are 3 longish tracks in here. I found them to be, I found it not quite as you might imagine from free jazz. Now, I've reviewed a Sun Ra album previously, and I hated it. And I didn't hate this, and I think the reason is because it's more empty and it was less kind of frantic and just assaulting you with noise. It didn't feel like an assault. It felt like it was more gentle and more beguiling, if you like. It's still very musically unconventional, definitely. I would say I liked the bowed bass particularly. I also liked the percussion that was used and the space in it, and it's quite nicely recorded. It comes across well. So actually, for something that's this avant-garde, I quite enjoyed it. So I'd love to know what you think. So please don't be shy. Talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.